All right, everybody, on your feet, here we go. Woo!
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Somebody around you. There you go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
Good morning.
Beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Beautiful day outside. Say it with me. We love the heat. There you go. Good. Someday we'll believe that. Let's take a deep breath. I just said, let's take a deep breath in. I was in ministerial panels in Santa Barbara, which meant I was one of 3 panelists interviewing potential ministers, 8 of them actually. And everyone who came in, we asked them to do a little short prayer, and every single time each student went in and said, let's just take a deep breath in. And one of the sage ministers that I was working with said, when did we start breathing in prayer? Did we ever stop breathing in prayer? What is this? Why are we doing this? And I realized I've become a creature of habit and always do the big breath in, but let's do it anyway. Take a deep breath in, because I feel like when we do that, we just sort of on the exhale, we allow ourselves to slow down, to spool down our life, spool down the activity of the mind, allow ourselves to become centered on this moment in time and our ability to open up and become receptive to something new and wonderful instead of spinning around the same old story. So hit pause for a minute on your storyline or your history and just become fully present with each breath that you take and each time your heart is beating. Take another deep breath in, if you would, please, and exhale whenever you're ready. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. has brought me here to this present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Please sing with me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
I invite you to join me as we turn within and see the beauty of our souls. As we recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one divine source of all life, and that power and presence is God. God is the sweetness that is intertwined with all beings. It is the infinite love that is everywhere present. It is the peace that pervades all life. And it is the light within our beingness. And so we know that God dwells within our hearts and souls, that it expresses in, as, and through us, that we were created in its image and likeness, and we are perfect in all ways. And so today's a day to open our eyes and see ourselves differently, to see the divine perfection that we are, and to really see it and recognize it and embody it. Because we were created here on purpose. We're created to be what we are uniquely and allow Spirit to express through us. We are here to ignite the fire in our soul, that passion to do what we are here to do, and let God support us in that desire, in that journey, knowing that there are things within us that are only ours to do. And so we say yes to that. And we allow our lives to open up. We allow for the opportunities to just come forth, for the right people to show us the way, to walk with us in this beautiful place that we have the privilege of being in this time and space. And so today we allow ourselves to be inspired by God. We see that sacredness within ourselves and we call it out. We allow it into our lives. We are clear of any ideas we've once had about ourselves that do not reflect the divine perfection of our beingness. We let the old go and we welcome the truth of who we are. We stand in it, we live it, because that's what God desires for us to do. And so we're so grateful that we are here today. We're here today to know truth, to stand in it, and to remember the wisdom that is within our souls, to remember that we are here to be healthy, alive, and to see beauty within and around us. And so we see it, and we take great joy in that. We're grateful, so grateful for Dr. Joe, for being that expression of God that he is, to be able to speak truth and for us to be able to understand him so easily and effortlessly. We're grateful for Gino and the band and the beautiful music that they share with us from the depths of their soul as it lifts us up out of all the burdens we might be carrying and up into that centered place within ourselves that knows only God. So we're grateful for life. We're grateful that we have the ability to transform our lives through our thinking. And we just say yes to God in its mighty, powerful presence that always guides us and shows us the way. And so knowing that everything is unfolding so beautifully, easily, and effortlessly for us today and always, we just stand in this state of gratitude and love for the journey, for our brothers and sisters, and for God. And so with that said, knowing that all is well, we release our word into that great and perfect law of mind, knowing that it is done. And so please join me as we say together, and so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wake in this holy silence. I hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. And I find God, I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself. The title of my talk is What is Your Why? And Kennedy Schultz, a minister from a long time ago, said, never let a talk title stand in the way of giving a good talk. So we're going to blow past that talk title and blow right into the reason for the talk today. Obviously, we've been going through a whole year of building a world that works for everyone. That's sort of a national theme that we've all been taking on throughout the entire organization. Today, part of the theme is we are part of a cosmic world, a perfect patterning, where one power alone acts. So that's the theme of today's talk, but actually the actual crux of it is this. We see a world, this comes from our global vision, we see a world in which personal responsibility joins with social conscience in the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors. Wow, is that a lofty goal or what, yeah? Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? In building a world that works for everyone, we think that these are vital components, that we get past all of the he said, she said, and borders and classes and different systems and you know, political parties and allegiances and alliances and all that good stuff, and come to a place where there is a consciousness that's unfolding. There's a world responsibility for what's happening in the world for all of us, not just certain groups of people, but for everyone in all different areas of the world, all different sciences, all different vocations. So we see a world to do that. So how do we do that? First off, here's your affirmation for the day. Say this with gusto and enthusiasm. Ready? Let's go. I am an illuminating presence that casts a light of solution, harmony, and oneness wherever I am. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to hear a presidential candidate say that? Really? Wouldn't it be great to hear someone say that and mean it? You know, I am an illuminating light of solution. Yeah. No, I'm quite happy. Thank you. I want to keep it that way. So that illuminating presence, just think about this. Are you the illuminating presence that walks in with solutions and tried to create a world of harmony? Or are you a complainer and a whiner and someone who doesn't show up with solutions but rather just throws out all the problems and expects everyone else to fill in the solutions? You know, if you look at yourself, each one of us, we are that light of solution. Do you come into your workplace, your relations, your health, all of your things that are going on in your life, do you come in thinking of yourself as an illuminating presence of light with a solution known in the mind of God, making its way by means of you and I? Are we doing that? Or are we just sort of tumbling into our lives and sort of showing up? There's a big difference. I mean, when you think of yourself as literally cast a light of solution, when is the last time you walked into a family or a meeting or a doctor's office or whatever it is and you thought, I am casting a light of solution into the room? 3, great. We got a small club. This is good. But for those of us that don't do that, maybe we need to think about that. Am I casting a light of solution when I walk into a family situation or a friend situation or when I'm in the middle of conflict between two friends or in a work situation? If I'm in the middle, like playing monkey in the middle, am I casting light of solution or am I actually just adding to? So something to think about. In the Science of Mind glossary, under the definition of man, and I added man and woman, this is the last sentence in the glossary. The highest expression on this planet. You and I are the highest expressions on this planet. Wow. That's huge. You are the highest. I am the high. Are you kidding me? We're all the highest expressions on this planet. So it begs the question. Highest expression would require that be the aim in all areas of our life. Is the highest expression your aim in every area of your life? Or is your expression just to get by and maybe a little bit ahead? Think about that. When it comes to your health, is your health aimed high, or is it, oh my God, I just got to get through this 15 minutes on the treadmill and then I'm done? Right? You know, I'm not going to eat that bark ground up into a fruit drink, whatever that is. I mean, what is the high? No, never mind. What are your highest aims in areas of your life? Are you aiming the highest, or are you aiming just to kind of get by comfortably? Because wherever you set your aim, your experience will follow. So are you aiming just to pay the rent? Or just to get by, or just to do this, or just to make it to the end of the month, or just to make it to this, or just to make it to that? When you have that just to make it to consciousness, that's not a high aim at all. That's actually just getting by. I don't know anybody that just wants to get by. They really want more, but they don't know ask for more. We have to be able to have an idea, an embodiment of that more. If you're the highest expression and I'm the highest expression, perhaps we need to act like the highest expressions. You with me? When talking about personal responsibility, we have to disassociate from labeling ourselves as flawed and wounded. Now you can go, ooh, I know. Everybody has a story, and every story presents an opportunity for us to expose our flawed self and our woundedness to justify why we're not where we want to be. I know, but we all do it. Keep in mind, there is this thing about this flawed and wounded idea that always is circulating in the back of our head. Okay, look, everybody has flaws. Yay! That's what makes you unique. Who here has never been wounded? Who here has never wounded someone else? We're all in the same boat. But do you want to identify yourself as a flawed and wounded person? When you identify yourself with flawed and wounded, here's what happens. I identify myself as being flawed or being wounded, and guess what happens in my experience? The universe produces more reasons for me to what? Feel flawed and wounded. There we go. Pretty easy, huh? But we have this identification because our lives aren't perfect. You know, our lives aren't perfect. Things happen. And when they happen, we embody them, and they actually diminish our idea of self. And when we diminish the idea of self, we become flawed and wounded, and this storyline continues. So it's a natural response to be disappointed about something that happens in life, but don't be disappointed and then identify with it and continue to become more of it. In the infamous words of myself to my mother, as I came out to her at 20 years old and said I was gay, my infamous words were, "Get over it. You'll never understand it because you're not. But move on so we can move on. Move on. All of you. All of us. Move on." The longer you stay in a place of unforgiveness, until you surrender to that, as long as you stay in a place of unforgiveness, all you're doing is churning out more reasons to be bitter. Not exactly a great idea and vocation for yourself. Get over it. And you're like, "Oh, but that was huge. She really hurt me." She's not staying up at night thinking that. And neither's he. So why are you? Move off it. It happened. It's history. Unless you want to keep replaying victim, then the universe churns out more reasons for you to become a victim. And it's really good at it. It's really good at whatever it does. Good, or not so good, or good. Before we try to create a difference in the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, we are better served and more in integrity doing our own personal work rather than using those platforms as fillers or stalling tactics to not do our own inner work. There's the debates right there. But the question for us is this. Wounded people tend to like helping other wounded people because if I help other wounded people, I don't have to recognize my own wounds. I don't have to heal them. We can all sit together and commiserate over our woundedness. Doesn't that make sense? They haven't healed themselves first, but I'm going to go help others. By helping others, I'll heal myself. No, by healing yourself, you'll help others. Follow it? Thank you. I'm so glad you're awake. By helping others, you don't heal yourself. You heal yourself by healing yourself, and then you help others. But if you're wounded, you have to fix yourself first. If not, where are you coming from? Can I fix you? Or it's not my job to fix any of you. That would be impossible. It's my job to show you a path and for you to walk the path. But how can I walk the path or show you the path if I'm not even on it myself? Don't wait. Napoleon Hill, don't wait. The timing will never be right. Yeah? Nonetheless, if we are not filling our own cup and shedding our falsities, then our work in the world will be met by burnout. So, let's go back over here. I'm churning out my flawedness, my woundedness. I'm living that story, telling that story, coming from that place of woundedness, coming from that place of victimhood. I keep doing this. Now, I'm waiting for the perfect time and the perfect opportunity to rid myself of this. Over here is the perfect opportunity. Now, the problem is, it's never the right time. Have you noticed? It's never the right time to say, "Oh, I think it's time to leave." No. So what we do, we stay over here, and guess what happens? We burn out. That's when we burn out. And actually, that's when you burn out other people in your life. That's when they go, "I am so tired of listening to that." if I hear that story one more time, I'm gonna blow. Tell him to stop, please. Because if you sit there in that woundedness and that feeling of fault, all you're doing is churning that out, and that's all people know about you. What happened to that pure potential? It's sitting over here. So don't wait. The time to get over it is now. Say that with me, please. I am an illuminating presence that casts a light of solution, harmony, and oneness wherever I am, even in the DMV. Inner work. So that means I got some inner work. So how do I start? Here we go. How do I start? First of all, where am I? Where are we right now? From a spiritual standpoint, we are in a perfect universe which by its very nature can only be inhabited by perfection. If you think God doesn't create that spiritual universe, we got to have a debate. Now, it's perfect in its perfectly imperfect ways. Does this make sense? Perfection always exists. Whether I'm recognizing it and aligning myself with it is another whole story. It always exists. The universe in its perfection has unfolded, is unfolding, and shall continue to unfold. That doesn't mean there won't be issues in the world, or personal or global, but what it does mean is that within those issues lies perfection. In every issue lies a healing. In every situation lies an opportunity for something greater to be born from it. Hence, that would make it a perfect balance. Does that make sense? So first of all, where am I? I am living in a perfect universe, but it doesn't feel like it. So who am I? Given the above, I must be a perfect being. Say what? What? I am a perfect being? Say that. I am a perfect being. I'm glad you kept down the tonation down. Not I'm a perfect being. What? Right? Screaming like a girl. If the world is perfect and I'm in its image and likeness of that perfection, then who am I? I must be that perfect being. But when I look in the mirror, I don't see that. And certainly there are times I don't see that in the mirror of my behavior at times. Certainly I don't see that in some things that have happened in my life or are currently happening in my life. I don't see that perfection. But the mental part of this spiritual law is that I must understand that it is perfectly perfect, unfolding in its perfect imperfection. Say what? Thank you. It is perfectly perfect, unfolding in its perfect imperfection. But either way, it's still perfect. It's okay. In other words, when we get over it and move into some other type of perfection. But we can't be there when we're dwelling here. Are you with me? Yes. Hang tight. It's going to make sense in about 5 minutes. Why am I? I know that I came from this perfect universe and I'm a perfect being. Now, what am I supposed to do? To express that perfection in my own unique fashion. Yay. That's great. Look at you. Look at us. No one wants to be you. No one wants to be me. I don't want to be me half the time. But you know what? That's the best part about it. We're meant to be unique. Paint it red. You don't hide your unique flower. Get out there and sprout all over. I mean, really, seriously, paint it red. If you're, perfect universe, perfect being, now express it perfectly in your unique way. No two people are ever going to be the same, nor do you want them to be. I mean, think about what great characters we make. Be our own uniqueness. So if we're from that perfect universe and we're that perfect being, then that means that the way you are, as weird as you are perfect and unique. Bless every one of you. As weird as we are, I am really weird. That's good. Really unique. Look at your uniqueness as a gift. I think it was Bette Midler that said, had I known when I was a child that my uniqueness would have been taken as such a great talent, I would have felt so much better when I grew up. Because when she sat there growing up, she thought, her differences really set her apart from everyone, and she felt very isolated and very, isolated and exiled. And so when you think about it, that unique nature made her a star that's been around forever. Really. Say that with me, please. I am an illuminating presence that casts a light of solution, harmony, and oneness wherever I am. Brilliant. Here we go. With that answer, we can begin our work. But I want to change something an old phrase that we used to remember, that ready, aim, fire? We're going to change the order to fire, ready, aim. Okay? So instead of ready, aim, fire, we're going to change it to fire, ready, aim. And here's why. Fire is desire. Look at fire as desire. Question for you. Are you tepid, or are you passionate about your calling in the world? Do you have a sense of passion and calling in your world? When it comes to your relationships, are you tepid in your relationships, or are you passionate about them? When it comes to your health, are you like, I'll do a little bit? Are you passionate about your health? When it comes to your finances, do you say, I'll just get by? Or are you passionate about being creative and looking at multiple streams of income? What are you passionate about, and what are you about? Well, you're not going to get much from produces more. Exactly. You guys are so good. See, you don't need me. Go to brunch. But see, back over here. If this is my response, I'm like bored with my life, then what am I churning out? A more boring life. Have that fire, have that desire, have that heat around something or some things. Find out what it is. If you don't know what it is, I guarantee you, pray for some clarity and you're going to find it. Next thing, ready. So first of all, we have fire and ready. Be still and know is what it says there. Be still and know. Now that is not a physical stillness per se. It's a mental stillness. When I had that fire in my gut, if I had that passion, that feeling that just has to come out, I'm not talking about being calm. No, I'm talking about having that mental clarity. The kind that says, have that passion and just drive it, Joe. Just drive it out of the barn and let it go. Let it go. Tell them I said hello. Let it go. Be that very best self you can be. Throw myself into it. Be still and know. It's not about being still and knowing. It's about being still up here and not having the mental ping pong game going on. When you eliminate the mental ping pong game, that's the stillness I'm talking about. Last thing, aim. What's your intention? If you know what you want, you can have it. Think about it. The word ask in Aramaic. Aramaic is as close as we can get to the native tongue of Jesus, the master teacher, okay? Aramaic was the language. And in the Aramaic, in the word ask, it's made up of two parts. It's a combination of the word claim and the word demand. Think of it as like a coat check, okay? You're given a claim check, okay? And you go up to the coat person behind the desk and you demand your coat back. Not demand like, but this is your demand to get your coat back. Does that make sense? In Aramaic, the same thing is true for us. When we say ask and you shall receive, we're saying claim and demand that which is yours. If this is what you want, claim it, and put your demand into the universe. You know, the universe is always asking us. If I were to have a conversation with God, it might go something like this. God, what do you want from me? And God would go, Joe, what do you want from me? And I'd go, but God, what do you want from me? And it would go, Joe, what do you want from me? And I would go, stop treating me like a 6-year-old. And he would go, stop treating me like a 6-year-old. He would just repeat back, it would just repeat back to me everything that I'm saying. Because the universe is the universal power, the intellect, that energy source is a reflection of our consciousness. It creates from what we give it to create. So it's just asking you. The universe is asking you, what is it that you want? Where is it that you want to go? What is it that you want in your health? What is it that you want in your finances? What is it that you want in your business? Or what is it I want in my relationships? What is it, Joe? I can tell you the answers you've already been saying in your head reflect your life experience right now. Total, in its totality. The answers to those questions that you've been asking God, that you've been asking yourself about asking God what is supposed to be happening, the answers have already been known because they're your answers reflected in your daily experiences. They're reflected in your checkbook, your relationships, your finances, your careers, your health. It's already reflected there. So you've been using it your whole life. You're using it when you don't know that you're using it, but you're using it. And so you claim it. You have the right and even the responsibility. If you are its highest expression, stand in that highest expression and command and demand your life. I know that sounds crazy. If I were sitting there, I would go, what the hell are you talking about, Joe? Are you telling God? You're commanding God? You're demanding this God? I mean, who do you think you are? What does it say? It's the Father's good pleasure to give and give abundantly, right? And you shall have it pressed down and flowing over. So if that is indeed the case, it's the Father's good pleasure to give, not evaluate, not judge, but what? Give. Ask and what? You shall receive. If I don't ask, will I receive? No. So what is it saying? Ask. Make the demand. If demand is a little harsh word for you, I get it. Just relax a little bit. Chill. But for the rest of you, demand. You want your life to change? Make the demand on the universe. Don't be mealy-mouthed about it at all. I demand to see the good in this situation. Remember that from a couple weeks ago? I demand to see the good in this situation. It's okay to make that kind of statement. I remember coming to this teaching how uncomfortable that felt for me to demand. Oh my God. But then I got it. Whenever I approached prayer or approached this idea in a timid, meek, less than way, my demonstrations were weak. But when I stood in my truth, and I spoke my truth, almost, when I spoke my truth revealed itself the way I spoke it. So if I'm speaking it from a place of timid or tepid and not passion, then my demonstration will feel like, I got what I wanted. Wasn't everything I wanted, but I got most of it. Make sense? Say it with me, please. I am an illuminating presence that casts a light of solution, harmony, and oneness wherever I am. I'm going to leave you with this idea, okay? Even in the apparent absence of harmony, there is harmony, political, socioeconomically, and personally. Even in the absence of us seeing harmony, there has to be belief that underneath all of it is a universal harmony, making its way to the surface by means of us and our awareness and our consciousness and our actions. In other words, the answer is always known in the mind of God, waiting for you to show up. It's always there, because that would be like saying, God has a problem, I have a problem that God can't resolve. That doesn't make sense to me. So even in the apparent absence of harmony, there is harmony. Even in the apparent absence of order, there is order. Even in the apparent absence of support, there is support. Even in the apparent absence of clarity, there is clarity. And even in the apparent absence of love, there is love. There may be an apparent, a veil of those things in front of you. But those veils are not spiritual founded principles. These are spiritually founded principles. Whatever is spiritual in nature survives all things. Everything else comes to pass. And so when you're talking about harmony, and you're talking about order, and you're talking about balance and support and clarity and love, when you're talking about the attributes of God, those are spiritual principles that are always there. I may have stepped out of their awareness and likeness, but that doesn't mean they're not there. Individuals may have stepped out of that awareness and likeness and done things to harm other people, but that doesn't mean it's still not there. They just stepped out of it. Does that make sense? So we have to step back into it. We have to step back into the light of solutions in all of these areas. If you can't ask for it, God can't put it there. If you don't know what to ask for, if you can't ask for it, how can you expect the universe to put it there? You have to be able to ask for it. In the apparent absence of all these things, they still exist. So ask for them. Claim them. Make the demand upon the universe for them. The universe is just waiting. Say that with me, please. I am an illuminating presence that casts a light of solution, harmony, and oneness wherever I am. So end your lesson. Thank you.